So, mic check. Yeah, yeah, okay. So, yeah, it's me. Uh huh. I'm not a Limbus YouTuber, nor am I a YouTuber to begin with, anyway, since this is mostly just a slop dump channel. But I still somewhat care about this topic enough to, like, write and edit a whole rant video about it after playing this game for like a year and a half or something. The. Now, I did just say I'm writing this as a script, but I'm treating it more like a stream of consciousness kind of thing, since I'm honestly ass at organizing my own thoughts, which I'm sure is gonna negatively impact my own credibility, but I never had any to begin with. Regardless, as whatever title I chose for the video implies, it's safe to say I was, like, disappointed, at the very least, by the release of the middle little brother Sinclair identity, and in more general terms, by what I feel like is a kind of stagnation in the game's design philosophy. Like, okay, allow me to explain. Middle Sinclair is not terrible at all, actually. He's quite alright as a unit, like, some fun, unique mechanics and stuff. But like my main issue stems from those fucking goddamn bleed conditionals on each of his fucking skills. Dude, it makes absolutely no sense. When was the middle ever about the bleed specifically? Sure, but Merceau and Dawn inflict a negligible amount of it with each of those skills, but like, it was never something central to their design, especially because neither of them, or Sinclair for that matter, inflict any count to make set conditionals reliable in the first place. It's not even what the enemies these units are based off of specialize in. I mean, I can't expect to find a whole lot of paralyzing coin drop effects on identities because that'll be tough to balance, but still, like, the only attempt at emulating that was made with Marceau and he's from like more than a year ago. The blade thing feels tacked on for the sole reason of having yet another identity related to one of the 7 or so status effects, and that is a gripe I have with the current state of the game as a whole. So what I mean by that is, I think Project Moon have backed themselves into a corner where every single new ID that gets released has to be a X status unit, rather than something that can interact with other core game mechanics in new ways in order to fulfill conditionals or whatever. I find it to be extremely boring from a design standpoint, to the point where, like, looking at launch or early season units feels more exciting, even if they mostly boil down to being like dumb big sticks with numbers that go all over the place, and most of them don't even have conditionals to play around with, which severely limits their usefulness in more advanced content. But like, I'd like to see more general use units that don't need to rely on a status to increase their clash or coin power, but like rather different game mechanics. You know, the speed-based IDs like Sync or whatever, they're a good example of that, and kind of a fun thing to be around too if one wants. And it was cool to see that making a comeback for the Mao identities, even though their thing was mostly in service to Rupture anyway, so it was still a bit of a letdown from my point of view. Honestly, I don't know what kind of point I'm trying to make anymore. Just give me dumb IDs that do their own thing. Thanks. So, like, this is like me in post or whatever without a script or anything. I mean, I don't even know why I made this video. Like, I don't even know the point of it, like what it is. But like, you know, I just want to start a discussion or some shit. Maybe start some arguments, start some shit in the comments. I don't fucking know. I don't think anyone's gonna see this anyway. Like, I could say anything right now and nobody will know it. uh, Sex?